Recently I came across this video that you had made with Science is Dope about the
Hmm.
origin of God.
Origin of?
Origin of God or story of God. Something like that.
Origin of what?
The belief, you believe the story of God. You get the video, remember, right?
Which video can you remind me?
Story of, about how the
The
belief in
story of
God.
God. Yes, yes, yes.
So why do you think it is not an appeal to genetic fallacy? You are determining
Appeal
the
to?
validity of genetic fallacy.
There were plenty of arguments. Which argument are you referring to?
No, the origin of the belief in God based on this psychological analysis of the early man.
No, it wasn't actually an argument so much as it was, speculation about how it may have come across. So we have a thing which is a claim about the existence of God, right? What do we have in front of us? We have people. We have knowledge about how people function. We have knowledge about how people think. We have certain anthropological evidence that suggests this is how human societies evolved. So with all that in front of us, what is the best possible explanation for something like God? And that is what we presented. Because the alternative is, I don't know what the alternative is. It's just plain assertion on the basis of no evidence. So if I have a bowl that is empty and there used to be milk in it, and I see a cat in front of me, I can come to the conclusion that maybe the cat drank it. I can't be certain, obviously, but I can say maybe the cat drank it. And if your explanation for the missing milk is that it rose into the air and flew away into the mouth of a demon, then I'm
Mm.
less likely to believe it, right? I'm simply basing my guess on what we know. That's all.
Mm. So what I'm saying is this is some kind of a psychoanalysis of the primitive man, and you're saying this could have been the case. So we
Yeah.
cannot say this is evidence that the belief in God is necessarily false or right.
I'm saying it is a better explanation than God created man because there is no evidence for that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But the origin of the belief in God cannot be
Mhm.
proven or disproved based on this claim alone, or about how it originated.
If we have some evidence in support of one model and no evidence in support of the other model, it makes sense to think that the first model is more likely. I'm not even saying that the first model is exactly true. I'm saying based on what we have, it explains things better.
No, sir, I agree with the model that you have proposed that the man was fearful and he wanted to like appeal
Yeah,
to ignorance. He did not know what was happening, so he wanted to propose this God. Probably
yeah,
we were familiar with the God of the gaps argument and so on.
yeah.
So, so does this prove that God doesn't exist?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So my next question. Can I ask the next question, or
Ah, sure, go on.
what do you think constitutes as evidence in the discussion about existence of God?
I wouldn't know. It would depend on the claim, right?
Let's assume the classical Western theism, the kind of God that is outside of
Make it
time
a lot of
space.
people. So when you say classical version, I don't know what you mean. Say, make the entire claim. What is the definition of God?
Uh, Maximally great being, ontologically necessary being.
I have no idea what that means. What is a maximally great being?
What can be conceived of the human mind to be maximally greatest possible, logically possible being.
So
The, the three,
a
the
being
triomnic,
greater than, no.
the
So
triomnic that you proposed.
I have
I
made a
saw that.
video about the triomni thing. You saw it?
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah. So do you agree with it?
Yes, I think it's possible. It's possible, logically possible to have an omnipotent,
No, no. Do you
omnivalent.
agree with my? Do you know my objection to the triomni thing?
No, I'm not able to actually grasp what you are saying, but you said
Okay.
that you were to explain each of those components, right?
Yeah.
You have to
So
explain
I'm
each of the
saying
ones to justify.
if you say maximally great being, I want to
Yes.
know what you mean by that. Can you put it in simply words? Because I have no frame of reference for a maximally great being.
It's actually a like more of a philosophical, thinking process, like thought process. If you can think of the
No,
greatest
see,
person,
yeah. So thinking is a trap because not thinking is a trap. I put it badly, but I would like to say that if you want to base an argument on purely imaginary values, then that value has less importance for me than the definition of a tomato. And I explained it in that video. If I am trying to explain something to you, if you have never seen a tomato, and you say, hey, what is a tomato? And I say, okay, a tomato is a red thing and a round thing and a fruit or a vegetable. You understand my definition, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Do you know why you understand my definition?
We have a frame of reference. I understand.
Exactly. So you know what round means, you know what red means, and you know what vegetable means. You have seen those things in different parts of reality. When you say omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, maximally great, I have no clue what you mean by that because I have never seen those qualities. You can imagine things. I imagine things all the time. I'm a fantasy writer. I can imagine wizards and magic systems and science fiction futuristic universes. But that does not mean that just because I imagined something and what I imagined is logically consistent, that
Yes.
does not mean that that is true. And I have no
Yes.
way of knowing if what you're saying is true.
Oh, so you're saying that it is not possible to know that this particular God that I'm trying to explain may or may not
I'm saying
exist?
I don't know
That's
how
not
to. I'm saying I don't know how to. How would I know what a maximally great being is?
no, sir. That's a thought process I'm saying. But we can also appeal to the first cause argument, something like cosmological contingency argument.
So that's a
Uh,
different argument. Na? So make that argument. Don't mix arguments. Make a clear
no, no, no,
argument and we'll,
no, no.
we'll talk.
I don't want to make arguments right now, sir. I want to know what you
Okay.
think would be valid as an evidence in this case.
That depends on the claim. If you want to give me the first cause thing, state it. Say it. What is the argument?
Anything that is contingent needs a cause. Everything that we see around us is contingent, and this sum of contingent entities will need a cause, and that cause will be called as a God.
Okay. So you're saying that God does not need a cause?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why?
There are only three possible options here. One can be self-caused, or uncaused, or caused by something else. If it is caused by something else, it's called as contingent. So if you want to propose this contingent entity produced by caused by another contingent entity, you will have a infinite regress of causes, which is not possible actually.
So I
It
can
might be
apply
possible.
that to the universe, right? There are only three ways the universe could have come into existence. It could be self-caused, it could be caused by some other entity, or it could be uncaused. What's the problem there? Universe exists, right? I, I
Yes,
can I can form arguments about the creation of the universe because the universe exists and I can see it and experience it. I have no way of experiencing God. Why would I speculate about the how God came into being?
yes, sir. But the universe cannot be self-caused, right? You cannot
Why
cause
not?
itself.
Why not? You
It
said
has
that God can be. If you say that God can be uncaused, why can't the universe be uncaused?
no, no, no. Uncaused and self-caused. I said universe cannot be self-caused. It
Why
cannot
not?
cause itself.
Why not?
It has to, you have to exist for you to cause yourself. It's
But
a
that
self-contradictory.
contra- So you have a problem with the universe being uncaused or self-caused, but you don't see that same problem applying to God. Why is that?
No, sir. I'm not saying self-caused and uncaused are same. I'm saying that universe cannot be self-caused.
I'm saying, how do you know
Then
that? How do you know that the universe cannot be self-caused?
you can say it is uncaused, sir, but you can't say it is self-caused. You have to
Why
exist
not?
for you to
I'm
cause.
asking you why not. I'm asking why not.
You have to exist for you to cause yourself to existence. It's a self-contradictory statement.
No,
I shouldn't
see,
have
here's the
included that.
thing. We already know very little about the creation of the universe. And
Yes, yeah.
what we do know is very vague, right? Big Bang के time पे जाते जाते physics
Sure.
टूटने लगता है, right? So if the Big Bang is actually the beginning, if the Big Bang is not one of many Big Bangs, or if there is no cyclical universe, etc., we have so little information about the beginning of the universe that we don't know anything. We can't say anything about it, which is why I am puzzled when you say very confidently that this is not possible. How do you know it's not possible? Maybe it is possible, right?
No, sir. It is not logically possible, so I'm saying it is not possible. So this is what I'm asking you. Would you be accepting something that is logically impossible? Do you
I
have
have to
logic
have
as the criteria?
in order to say whether something is possible or impossible, I need to have a frame of reference for it. I have none for the beginning of universes, and I definitely don't have any for God. So what is the point of this speculation? Why can't we simply live our life assuming that this is nonsense? What is the
Sorry,
need for this speculation?
no, it seems to be following this logic, that everything that is contingent needs a cause. When you follow this into the logical conclusion, it is
See, I
going to
told
go.
you some time ago that just because it's a logically consistent model, a logically consistent model tells me nothing about whether it is true or not. I can
Would you
create
accept that
logically
it is
consistent.
possible?
I can create logically consistent models for the existence of werewolves and you know uh, what's the other one? Vampires. Does that mean that they're real?
Will you accept that it is possible? If it is logically possible, it will be possible to exist.
No, I'm saying I don't know. How would I know it is possible? We have jack shit as far as knowledge is concerned. We don't know where the universe came from. We don't know how it came into being. We don't know if what we understand right now is absolutely correct. I don't know. That is my answer. Maybe it is possible. Maybe it is not possible. I don't know.
Okay, sir. Let me just rephrase my question. Is a
Hmm.
yellow colored horse possible? Logically
A, ye-
possible?
a yellow colored what?
Horse or unicorn? Let's say unicorn.
A yellow colored unicorn.
Yeah.
I think horses exist. I think no yellow colored horse has ever been observed. Whenever a yellow colored horse is observed, I would be in a position to say that a yellow colored horse is possible.
The
Right
logical
now,
possibility.
I can't say. Maybe there are yellow colored horses somewhere in the universe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm saying.
we
You
have
are
never.
allowing that possibility, right?
No, I'm saying I don't know. Do you understand the difference between me saying I don't know and between me saying it's possible? I am an agnostic atheist. I don't make any claim about the existence of
I
gods.
think you are not.
Hmm? What?
Yes, sir. I'm not. You explained about agnosticism and
I
atheism.
was saying that I'm
I
not making any claim. If I say it is possible, then that's a claim. If I say it is impossible, then that is also a claim. I am saying I don't know.
you don't know whether we can know about God. Is that the agnostic position that you want to take?
Sure. Maybe that's also on the table, I suppose. Maybe it is not possible to know. And there are, by the way, there are religious people who will agree with me on this. They will say it's not possible to know God.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you agree?
There are fetists, yeah, who take
Sorry?
things by faith. Fetists who take it by faith.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cannot
People
go
like
by
that.
right.
Yeah. Damn.
Hello.
Huh. Go on. Damn, your audio is not coming.
Am I online? Yeah.
You are online, but you need to
Am I
speak in
online?
order for
Sorry.
me to. Yes, you are online. Go
I
on.
feel that you are not following where the logic is leading, sir. You are like cutting off intentionally and saying that I don't want to follow it. I'm just saying we
No,
cannot know it.
I'm saying logic is a good process, but it needs to be applied to reality. I don't know whether what you're applying it to is real or not. Purely हवाई किला कोई भी बना सकता है. If this is true, then that must also be true. If that is true, then this must also be true. If this is true, then this is clearly possible. You are completely using purely imaginary entities to create an equation based on nothing. I gave you the example of a tomato, right? The variables in that equation are all known, and therefore that equation makes sense to me. When you make an equation based on मनगढ़ंत चीजें like maximally conceivable, it makes no sense to me. I don't know what maximally conceivable means, and I'm pretty sure you can't even give me an example of it.
I think we are available. See, we are aware of what benevolence is, what potency is, capacity is, what knowledge is, right? These are
Yeah,
concepts that we already are aware of.
yeah. But what is
When you take it to the
omnibenevolence?
maximal, when you take it to
No,
the maximal level, it's called omnibenevolence.
no, you can't, because it begins to contradict itself. What is omniscience? What is omnipotence? What is the ability to do everything? Can you give me an example of it?
Well, that's the way that atheists actually argue, right? You agree, accept that, right?
What?
The problem of evil, the omnipotence paradox.
I'm not following. I'm saying when you say something like omniscience or omnipotence, can you give me an example of something that is omnipotent?
We don't. I don't think we can comprehend the whole concept fully, sir. So I'm just proposing as a thought process, whatever
Yeah.
you are able
So
to think of.
I'm saying I'm not interested in thought experiments. If you are talking about reality, you cannot come to any conclusion on the basis of thought experiments where the equation is made up of variables which are completely, imaginary.
We
Unless
don't
you
do
can
that in
give me
science.
an example of something, these variables are completely meaningless to me.
We don't do that in science and philosophy, sir. Make hypothesis and then make experimentation based on
Scientific
that.
hypothesis. So, give me an example of a scientific hypothesis that is based on purely imaginary conjecture.
I suppose the ancient theory was like purely theoretical thing, which was later on disproved. I suppose
Which
I'm
was?
not.
Which one? Which one?
relativity theory proposed by Einstein. I'm not sure about the science.
Relativity theory proposed by Einstein.
Yeah,
It was
it
not
was a
based on
theoretical.
purely imaginary things. It was still based on existing math, and it did work on a mathematical level. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there is a frame of reference for it. It was not purely hypothetical. You are giving me variables which are absolutely impossible to demonstrate unless you can give me an equation. Like, for example, I'll grant you something. If you were to say that God is an alien being that exists within the universe,
Okay.
which came to earth and created life, then I would say that I can conceive of life existing in a universe. I can conceive of a life form being more powerful than us. We know how energy works. It is possible that there are alien beings who can manipulate energy on that level. We can conceive of alien beings who can manipulate energy on that level because we are able to conceive of we are able to manipulate energy on some level. Therefore, that is at least an imaginable definition, right? What you're giving me right now is purely Hawaii killer. It's flying castles in the air, building castles in the air. So
Uh,
I cannot follow you where you want me to go, man. This is I think I'm talking like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, who was being proposed to by Eowyn. I cannot give you what you ask, my lady.
Fine,
But
sir. I
good
understand.
conversation, man. Good conversation. I have to move on to the next person now.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.